Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my newly updated machining deck. So Machinings finally got some really good support in the latest set. A lot of people are playing Stun Beetle right now, or not Stun Beetle, Stag Beetle. Stag Beetle because him along with the new Legion is really like consistent because they both do the same thing. It's kind of like running Zerakiel with the Celestial Promo Legion and Angel Feather. But I kind of wanted to go for a different build. I wanted to go for one that's not the same type of build that everybody else is running right now as far as Megacolony decks go. So my machining deck sticks with Warsicle as one of the backup vanguards, or one of the main vanguards. So I'm still running the 4 Warsicle. I'm a fan of Warsicle. Some people say he's not that good or he's overrated. I think he's really scary in late game. Or even if you have to open up with this guy early. The fact that they got a Limit Break Enabler, which is a machining, just helps this guy a whole lot in playtesting the deck. Early game, they don't want to block him because they don't want to get stunned. So you hit them with like double crit or whatever, and then they just kind of lose because they fall way behind. So he's just really a really good pressure card overall. So we'll get into how the deck has changed in a little bit. But anyway, for him, you can definitely run Stag Beetle instead of him, and then you don't have to worry about limit break. But I don't know, I like the 11k Vanguard defense. Quite a few people have actually still running the 10k vanillas for grade 2, so it's kind of good to have 11k. The other grade 3 is Machining Scorpion Mark II. He's the new Legion. He replaces the previous Legion that was machining. He is really good because his effect is similar to Stag Beetle, only he's 11k base and he's Legion, so Legion's just better. And he has good flexibility in the sense that he actually has 2 Legion mates. He has his Legion mate, which is actually this guy, Machining Mosquito Mark II, and then the old Legion mate, which was the Hornet Mark II. But this deck's not running that guy. He's only running this guy. Speaking of Machining Mosquito, he's actually really good. He's an 11k attacker when all the opponent's vanguards or rearguards are rested. And then he also gets an effect for when his attack hits once per turn. If it hits a vanguard, you can stand one of your rearguards, stun one of your opponent's vanguards, or not vanguards, one of your opponent's rearguards. So really good, and on top of that, he doesn't need the Vanguard to be in Legion. That's what I like about him. That's why the main reason why I took Hornet out, because he doesn't work unless you're in Legion, and if you open up with Warsicle, it's not very good. If you run pure Legion, then it's fine. For Machining Red Soldier, 12k machining, this deck is kind of beat down compared to my other deck, so yeah, he's pretty good actually with the standing ability of this guy. And I like that this guy doesn't use any counterblast. And the last grade 2 is more 12k. So Machining Mantis, he is your best turn 2 ride. And when he's placed on VRR, doesn't matter where, from hand, soul, deck, doesn't matter. He gets plus 3k, so he's 12k on the turn he is called out. So lots of 12k, lots of rushing. For grade 1s, for Machining Yellow Jacket, this is the Limit Break Enabler for Megacolony, and it's a machining. So it allows Warsicle to pressure very early when you have 2 damage. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. That's just the playstyle I went for with this deck. 3 Machining Mosquito, because you do need the soul to do his effect multiple times. Otherwise, you'll only be able to do it once, unless you're re-legioning. And you also call stuff from the soul with Warsicle if you want to use his on V, like when you place him on V, when you ride him. So 3 mosquitoes to stack the soul. Hopefully get some good stuff in there, not just like triggers or something. And then 3 machining Caucasus. This thing is just a really mean booster. Basically, when the attack hits, that this unit boosted a machining, you choose one of your opponent's rearguards and you stun it, or you paralyze it. So, really solid card. A lot of people are actually running the grade 1 equivalent of him, and that's fine too. But I just want to go for the more, like, trolley style, like, lock them down, Link Joker style traditional machining, traditional Megacolony, not traditional machining, but traditional Megacolony style of play. So I went with 3 of those for that reason. And then for the grade 1s, because it's Legion, people who've seen enough of my decks, I am a fan of Quintet Walls. People are saying that Quintet Walls are really lousy right now and are really mediocre because Stride hits huge numbers, Blizza hits huge numbers. But I still think that stands are good, and the fact that I'm not running any 5k draw trigger shields in this deck means that my Quintet Wall will be able to keep it with Stride just fine. Like, I've never had a problem with a Quintet Wall blocking a Stride attack. So, really good in the mirror match when you want to just one card block a Stun Beetle. So, yeah, Machining Ladybug, 1 copy is enough. It's a machining, you have some special counterblast thing going on. And then 3 Paralyzed Madonna. You gotta run this because if you're running this, you need a perfect guard that you can top deck on to Gardening Circle and actually just use the effect right there. And that's the grade 1s. For the 0s, 4 of the new Machining Critical Trigger, and it has a nice effect too. When it's placed on R, if you have a Vanguard Machining, you can counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards. Or choose one of your rear guards, stand it, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and it cannot stand. So it's interesting critical in the fact that it stands one of your units when you place it on rear guard circle. And it also stuns one of your opponent's stuff. So very solid machining critical, definitely max that out. And then I am running, well, just 4 more critical. And they're the machining critical that came out last year. So machinings finally can run all, like, if you want to do 8 critical, 4 draw, 4 heal, you can do that now because Machinings did get a draw trigger in the latest set. But I am actually running the old Machining stand trigger that came out with this guy last year. Because it's a 7k when it's placed. If you have a Machining in your soul, he's plus 3k. So he's basically the grade 0 of this effect. So since I'm not running the grade 1, I am actually running the grade 0. So I can get away with that. So effectively making this a 7k booster or attacker on the turn that you place on VRR. So pretty good at trying to, like, close out the game. You know, like in those desperate situations where all you need to do is call down your 10k shields and attack for numbers. This can help you hit like 19 to an intercept or something, and then go for a game with the Vanguard and the other attack. And you can maybe like check another one of these. So, and then 4 machining heal. So all machining. The starter is still Machining Little B because it's a pretty good starter with the Legion. And it's a pretty good start with Warsicle as well. So the deck changed quite a bit. You can tell it's got limit break enablers now. It has a new critical trigger. Only non-machining in here are the 3 Paralyzed Madonnas. So the deck is not hindered too much. For the extra deck, I am running the Jaggy Devils, the Pyrosphere, and Stun Beetle. And the last card is actually probably the best one. 2 Carapace Mutant Deity Machining Destroyer. This is the Machining Stride unit from Fighters Collection. I've already been running this since it came out with my previous machining deck, but it's the one that everybody's complaining about. So just 2 of these. I can already call it 2 times. I recommend running, like I said, optimal build, in my opinion. If I was actually going to play machining in a local tournament or something, I would recommend 3 Stun Beetle, maybe 3 of this. So that's 6. You could probably run 1 Jaggy Devil and 1 of this, or you may also want to run a Blizza or a Madu, try to fit one of these in there. This, because there's a Legion, you can Legion for free, or you can Stride for free. But otherwise, it doesn't really do a whole lot. So probably Blizza, just to kind of, you know, give you that extra push for game. But there's lots of ways for this deck to push for game. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that machining deck. I think this deck's really strong, really intimidating to go against. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that deck profile, and let me know in the comments what you think of machinings. Do you think they can actually like top at a regional or something, or if they're just still not there yet. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for more Cardfight Vanguard videos in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.